Hey Raiders fans, we're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Las Vegas Raiders. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. That way, you'll always stay up to date with breaking news and exclusive content. The rumors started quietly, almost as a whisper inside the Raiders building. But as every seasoned fan knows, whispers in the National Football League never stay quiet for long. According to growing speculation around the league, head coach Pete Carroll has reached a personal breaking point with quarterback Gino Smith, and a relationship that once carried cautious optimism now feels strained, distant, and possibly beyond repair. The belief circulating among insiders is that Carroll, a coach known for demanding absolute trust, rhythm, and emotional leadership from his quarterback, no longer sees Gino as the long-term voice of his offense. This is not about one single throw, one practice, or one bad moment. This feels deeper, philosophical, and rooted in how Carroll wants his team to play football. Raiders fans have noticed subtle signs, changes in body language on the sideline, shorter conversations, less visible encouragement, and a shift in tone during press moments that feel carefully guarded. In the world of professional football, when a coach stops defending his quarterback publicly with passion, it usually means private conversations have already grown uncomfortable. The rumors suggest Carroll believes the offense lacks identity, urgency, and adaptability under Gino's command. For a coach who built his career on energy and belief, that absence can be louder than any interception. If this speculation proves accurate, the Raiders could be standing at the edge of another quarterback crossroads, one that threatens to reshape the direction of the franchise far sooner than anyone expected. Inside the Raiders' locker room, the situation is being described as tense but controlled, the kind of tension that simmers rather than explodes. Players are professionals, yet they're also observers, and they sense when confidence from the top starts to fade. Rumors suggest Pete Carroll has begun challenging Gino Smith more aggressively behind closed doors, questioning not just execution but command, tempo, and emotional presence. Carroll's coaching style thrives on competition, but it also requires buy-in, and speculation points to a growing disconnect in that department. Gino is seen by some teammates as calm and composed, but critics inside the organization reportedly interpret that calm as detachment when urgency is needed. For a Raiders team searching for a renewed identity, that perception matters. Coaches often say the quarterback is an extension of themselves on the field, and if Carroll does not see his own competitive fire reflected back, frustration can quickly build. The whispers suggest Carroll has started leaning more heavily on assistants for alternative offensive ideas, a move that rarely happens without underlying doubt at the most important position. None of this has been made official, and officially the Raiders remain united, but the silence can be just as telling as words. When belief erodes at the top, the entire structure feels it, and that is exactly the feeling fans are starting to sense. From Gino Smith's perspective, this rumored shift is especially painful because his journey in the league has always been about resilience and proving people wrong. He arrived in Las Vegas with something to prove, carrying the weight of past doubts and the determination to rewrite his narrative. Sources close to the situation speculate that Gino feels the leash tightening, that every throw now carries added pressure, not just to move the offense, but to reaffirm trust. Quarterbacks thrive on clarity, and uncertainty can seep into decision-making faster than any defensive scheme. The rumor mill claims Gino believes he has not been given full freedom to lead, that the offense is constrained by caution rather than creativity. Whether that belief is accurate or not, perception shapes reality in a quarterback's mind. If Gino feels he is playing not to fail instead of playing to win, the results can spiral. Pete Carroll, meanwhile, is known for valuing fearless football, and that philosophical clash could be at the heart of this growing divide. This is not a story of villains and victims, but of mismatched visions colliding under the unforgiving spotlight of professional football. When a coach and quarterback stop seeing the game through the same lens, separation often follows. Speculation has naturally shifted toward what this rumored dissatisfaction could mean for the Raiders moving forward. Around the league, Executives are said to be monitoring the situation closely, fully aware that quarterback uncertainty creates opportunity. If Carroll has truly lost confidence in Gino Smith, the Raiders may quietly explore alternatives, whether through internal competition or external options. Rumors suggest front office discussions are already more active than fans realize, not necessarily about an immediate move, but about contingency plans. Teams rarely wait until a crisis becomes public to prepare. Carroll's long history suggests he prefers decisive action over prolonged indecision, and that alone fuels speculation that change could come swiftly once a threshold is crossed. The Raiders' fan base is split, with some believing Gino deserves patience and stability, while others feel the franchise cannot afford another season of ambiguity at quarterback. This divide mirrors the uncertainty reportedly felt inside the building. Football organizations often talk about alignment, and right now, alignment appears fragile. If Carroll no longer believes Gino is the man to drive his vision, then the clock may already be ticking, even if no one is publicly acknowledging it. What makes this rumor even more compelling is the personality of Pete Carroll himself. He is not a coach who hides his emotions well, and those who know him best claim he struggles to fake belief when it is gone. Speculation points to a man wrestling with the reality that his ideal version of Raiders football may not be achievable with Gino Smith under center. Carroll's teams have always thrived on infectious confidence, relentless competition, and quarterbacks who play with visible joy and swagger. The belief spreading among insiders is that Carroll feels Gino's leadership style does not ignite the entire roster in that way. That does not mean Gino lacks talent or intelligence, but fit matters more than raw ability at this level. The Raiders are attempting to build something sustainable, and Carroll may be questioning whether Gino represents the future or merely a transitional chapter. In the ruthless logic of the league, transitional chapters rarely last long. The moment a coach starts thinking in those terms, momentum shifts. Fans can sense it, players can feel it, and opponents eventually exploit it. This is why the rumor carries such weight, because it speaks not just to performance, but to belief. As the speculation continues to grow, one thing feels increasingly clear. The Raiders are approaching a defining moment. Whether Pete Carroll publicly addresses his confidence in Gino Smith or continues to sidestep the issue, the pressure will only intensify. Silence creates stories, and stories shape expectations. If this rumored fracture remains unresolved, it could become the dominant narrative surrounding the team, overshadowing progress in other areas. For Gino, this represents another test of mental toughness, another chapter where he must fight perception as much as defenders. For Carroll, it is a reminder that leadership sometimes demands difficult decisions that ripple far beyond the playbook. The Raiders organization stands at a crossroads where patience and urgency collide. If belief can be restored, this rumor may fade into the background as noise. If not, fans may soon look back on these whispers as the first signs of a major shift. In professional football, endings rarely announce themselves loudly. They arrive quietly, disguised as speculation, until one day they are simply reality. The league thrives on moments when power dynamics subtly change, and this rumored situation between Pete Carroll and Gino Smith feels like one of those turning points that could redefine an entire locker room. Around the Raiders, the speculation suggests that Carroll is beginning to view the quarterback position not as a foundation, but as a question mark. That alone can alter how practices are structured, how meetings are conducted, and how accountability is distributed. When a head coach starts to doubt his quarterback, every missed read feels heavier. Every stalled drive feels magnified. Insiders claim Carroll's patience, once a defining trait, has noticeably thinned. That does not mean open conflict, but it does suggest a cooling of the relationship. Football players are experts at reading energy, and quarterbacks are especially sensitive to shifts in trust. Gino Smith is reportedly feeling that shift, even if no words have been spoken. This is the danger zone where speculation becomes self-fulfilling. Once doubt enters the equation, performance often follows it. The Raiders find themselves in a delicate balancing act, trying to maintain public unity while privately confronting uncomfortable truths. Another layer to this rumor centers on the Raiders' offensive identity, or lack thereof. Sources close to the team speculate that Carroll envisioned an offense that plays fast, aggressive, and emotionally charged, while what he sees on the field feels cautious and inconsistent. Quarterbacks are the embodiment of offensive philosophy, and if Carroll believes Gino Smith executes plays without embodying the spirit behind them, frustration naturally builds. This is not a criticism of Gino's professionalism or work ethic, but rather a question of resonance. Some quarterbacks elevate energy simply by stepping into the huddle, and rumors suggest Carroll does not feel that spark consistently. That perception can be devastating because it is difficult to measure and nearly impossible to coach. The Raiders' offense, under this lens, becomes a mirror reflecting deeper concerns. When drives stall, Carroll reportedly views it less as a tactical issue and more as a leadership one. Whether that assessment is fair or not, it shapes decisions. Coaches act on belief, and belief is rarely swayed by statistics alone. The front office, according to speculation, is now caught between two timelines. On one side is the desire for stability, avoiding yet another reset at the most important position in sports. On the other side is the fear of committing fully to a quarterback the head coach no longer believes in. That tension can quietly paralyze decision-making. Insiders suggest internal conversations are increasingly framed around future flexibility rather than present commitment. That language matters. When organizations start prioritizing flexibility, it often signals preparation for change. Gino Smith, aware of how quickly narratives shift in this league, is said to be pressing internally for clarity, wanting to know where he truly stands. Quarterbacks crave certainty because uncertainty breeds hesitation. The Raiders, however, may not be ready to provide that certainty yet. This gray area is where rumors thrive and where confidence can erode if not handled carefully. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Fans, meanwhile, are left dissecting every sideline interaction, every press conference pause, every carefully chosen word. Raiders supporters are no strangers to quarterback controversy, and this situation reopens old wounds of instability and missed opportunities. Some fans argue that Gino deserves trust and continuity, pointing to the damage constant change can cause. Others believe Carroll's instincts should be trusted, even if the decision feels harsh. This divide reflects the broader truth about football culture, where loyalty and results are constantly at odds. Rumors thrive in that emotional space, feeding off uncertainty and hope in equal measure. The Raiders' brand is built on intensity and identity, and right now, both feel unsettled. Whether that unrest is exaggerated by speculation or grounded in reality is almost beside the point. Perception shapes momentum, and momentum shapes outcomes. Pete Carroll's legacy adds another layer of intrigue to this story. He is a coach who has always preached competition, accountability, and belief. Walking away from a quarterback is not something he does lightly. If the rumor that he no longer wants Gino Smith on his team holds weight, it suggests a deep conviction rather than a reactionary impulse. Carroll is not known for half measures. When he believes a change is necessary, he commits fully. That possibility alone sends shockwaves through the Raiders' future plans. Quarterback transitions affect everything from roster construction to locker room hierarchy. Players want to know who their leader is, and uncertainty at that position can quietly fracture trust. Carroll understands this better than most, which is why the rumor feels so significant. If he is willing to risk that disruption, it implies he believes the current path leads somewhere worse. As this speculative narrative continues to unfold, the Raiders stand at the edge of a defining chapter. Geno Smith's future with the team feels increasingly fragile, balanced between redemption and replacement. Pete Carroll, meanwhile, faces the weight of his own expectations and the relentless pressure to build a winner that reflects his philosophy. Rumors like this do not emerge without reason, but they also do not always tell the full story. What is clear is that belief, once questioned, becomes the hardest thing to restore. Whether the Raiders choose patience or pivot, the consequences will echo far beyond one season. For now, fans are left watching closely, listening between the lines, and wondering if this rumored divide marks the beginning of a bold new direction or another chapter of unresolved uncertainty. In the National Football League, silence often speaks loudest, and right now, the silence around Gino Smith and Pete Carroll feels impossible to ignore. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.